Hello, I'm Bradley and welcome to my video. So you may have seen in my last couple of clips here, I recently had a complete overhaul of hairstyle. So I have gone a lot shorter and I absolutely jumped in and I wanted a style which I've really liked, but I wanted a shorter version at the back and I wanted it longer in the front. So it was much easier for me to style into the chosen style which I wanted, which of course was my favourite style, the traditional pompadour style with lots of volume in the front and then not so much volume in the back, that nice sleekness of the side, and again on the opposite side as well, so really nice and precise with that nice shape in the front here as well. That was the style I went for. When I first had that cut, I absolutely loved it. I had a couple of days and I really then sort of started to think about, especially with my hearing aids, I was thinking I've lost that length of the hair now at the sides to cover my hearing aids. Had a bit more time to think about it, and I really kind of thought that, okay, perhaps I've not done the right thing here. Perhaps I didn't give it enough thought, perhaps it was just an impulse I had and I acted on it far too quickly. However, I've thought about it, and I think it's more of a problem with my confidence with my actual hearing problem myself on certain days, rather than actually me having longer hair to cover it. Because what I have kind of thought recently, looking back on when I had longer hair, number one, I was getting really quite agitated with the length of it. I loved styling my hair and using all different products. However, being it was way past my nose, it was getting to the point where I was doing styles. However, if I was taking my hair off onto one side, it was too long, so it was having to sort of take on this funny sort of shape, which at times was nice, but it was getting longer and it was sort of losing its sort of fresh haircut feeling, and it was starting, I feel, to sort of age me a little bit. It was making me feel a little bit bogged down with how much product and how much I had to do with it for it to look good. And particularly, I found that it wasn't starting to look youthful when I was styling my hair. I was coming away from what I actually was trying to hold on to. So, moving away from that, what I realised this morning was I had my hair cut, of course, which I've done a video and hopefully you would have seen that, on my haircut around having the pompadour style. I asked the stylist who cut my hair, who's a lady who cuts my hair and has done so for a very long time, would I be able to have my hair cut around this style? Absolutely loved it. But I thought possibly it was a little bit too short, that I'd gone a little bit too short. So now I've had some time for it to grow, and it's grown ever so slightly. I thought, let's give this hairstyle a try, which I really liked today. Once I tried it, I really thought to myself, wow, I have lost that length at the back. I've lost that sort of bulkiness when I was combing the hair off to the side to make it a nice sort of arid point feature at the back. I was having to sort of comb hair off to one side, and then I'd have it sort of coming over this side, and I was having to do it the opposite way, and it was just getting all bit too much, and the front was going far too high, and it was just really quite difficult because I was having to use so much product to keep it in that nice shape, which I really liked. Didn't think that actually I'd be able to do the style I so enjoy wearing for a long time, actually. So it's been a little while now. My hair has grown out slightly, and I'm really liking it, I have to admit. Possibly did I go too short? That was what was playing on my mind, that I didn't actually get the style I so wanted. Perhaps it wasn't because I couldn't cover my hearing aids anymore, because actually sometimes when I was trying to cover them, like anything, the more you try to cover something, it just shows. And again, perhaps it was confidence with me. So again, I think that's possibly something I've got to work towards in the future around hearing aids. So you'll notice I've actually not got my wired cross hearing aid system in today. I've got my wireless bi-cross hearing aids, and unfortunately I haven't got the molds yet. I'm still trying to get used to the hearing aids which I've got. My choice is going to be the wireless cross hearing aids. Absolutely love them. I'm just still waiting. It's been such a long process. I'm still waiting for the new hearing aid molds. There's been a number of problems, but that should be happening for me very soon, so I feel a lot better, certainly when I've got that without the wire at the back of my neck. So hairstyle-wise, so I was saying this morning, hairstyle-wise, that I really sort of woke up and thought, when I'd styled my hair, hang on a minute, I've been able to do this so much more quicker, so much more easier, less product, and it feels and looks much more youthful. So as you can probably see, I've got that really nice, classic sort of pompadour look. I've got that nice parting, that nice sort of blend at the back. I haven't got that defined line, as you can see, it's blended. And I think that looks much more better for this style, actually. For a long time, I was having this style, trying to create this style. But of course, when I'm saying that, yes, I really enjoy wearing a pompadour style, but when I have my hair cut and I like it in this style, I also like to have enough hair and enough of a length to be able to create those gelled sort of 1910s, 1920s slick back and classic side slick back looks as well. As long as I can do that, absolutely fantastic. That's another favourite of mine, but this is a real true favourite of mine also. Particularly when I'm not at work, or I want something sort of create a bit of a statement piece, or if I'm wearing a real nice expensive classic suit, or something which I really want to sort of feel quite, you walk into a room and you feel, yeah, this is me. And that's what I like with this hairstyle. So how did I create this? So my shocking sort of trend for actually I've done the right thing, my hair's cut shorter, but it actually works with me. So my shorter style works with me to create this style, not against. And for me to realise that this morning, it just took that sort of nearly coming up to 2 weeks. Yes, nearly coming up to 2 weeks of that growth of my hair, just for me to give that little bit more length, that little bit more grown out blended look, for me to be able to create this really nice style of how I've had my hair cut and the style I've done today. So how did I create that? So first things first, this morning I jumped in with Alpazin. We all know Alpazin. Absolutely love the product. That caffeine, really invigorating, really fresh, and that lovely sort of tingly feeling on the scalp. Left that on for a couple of minutes this morning. Really great to keep those follicles strong and to give them the best sort of possible growth. Really, really love Alpazin, jumping in and out of the product. Really, really like it. After using that then for a couple of minutes, I used my favourite. I jumped in with Cenoxyl L'Oreal Professional Conditioner. Left that on for a couple of minutes. That really invigorating gel texture, just to boost the volume and again keep my follicles nice and healthy. Really lovely conditioner. Didn't use the shampoo today, stuck with Alpazin, and I really, really enjoyed that. After washing the conditioner out, then just to keep my scalp lovely and healthy and that real nice, strong, vigorous growth, I very often use this, and this morning I've used this as the Alpazin Caffeine Liquid. Really lovely product. Put that all through my scalp, get a real nice deep massage, really tingling, really minty, sort of menthol fragrance and sensation on my scalp, really to keep my health absolutely really to keep the health of my hair at its optimum. Really, really like that, and certainly great if you're looking at growing your hair as well. Of course, I'm saying now I'm happy with the length of my hair, but it's more for me, sometimes I feel my hair's a little bit finer, a little bit lank, a little bit flat, so I really love coming back to Alpazin. I find they really give me the best hair possible. In my opinion, of course, we're all different, but for me, they really work well for me. So we've shampooed, we've conditioned, I've gone in with the caffeine liquid. Then what I've done, I've got damp hair, so quickly towel dried that off. Then I've jumped in with the Schwarzkopf Got To Be Volumaniac Root Lifting Spray. Sprayed that all through my hair, not loads, but just so it's a nice sort of mist covering my hair. I then rubbed that in slightly, brushed that through, and then I've gone in with the blow dryer. This is my Damon radial brush, which you would have seen in a lot of my clips. Really great brush because it's smaller and my hair's a little bit shorter now in the front. Of course, I've still got that length and it's a lot shorter in the back, but for the front of my hair, creating that volume and that traditional pompadour, really getting in with that lift, so from the roots, pulling that upwards and then directing it over my scalp to the back. So towards the back, what I've done then is I've lifted up the sides, as you can see here, hopefully with this sort of defined line. I've grabbed the hair with the Damon brush, the radial brush, pulled upwards and then directed that over my scalp, and then again at the side I've lifted from the roots upwards and then over my scalp, and then at the back here I've just literally brushed that down, and as you can see I've got that nice shape with it all coming up at the sides and that nice smoothness at the back, which then just a quick brush back with a comb, one side and then straight back. I've got that nice sort of arrowed point which is cut nice and short, and then that goes into a nice blend now down towards the nape of my neck. Then what we've done is I have jumped in, so I've got dry hair. What I have then done, this is a product which I'm really liking at the moment, particularly when I do this type of style, because I've got a finer texture of hair. I like to jump in with something like a texturizing powder. The one I really, really love is from the Schwarzkopf Got To Be range, the powder, textured powder, which is really great to sort of dust that through your hair, rub that in. It really gives you some nice resistance. But if I'm not using that, what I really do like is from the Johnny's Chop Shop range, and this is the dry shampoo. I never use it for cleansing my hair. I use it for giving texture and builds volume. So I've sprayed this through my hair, and then what I've done is I've really just rubbed that in at the roots, and it gives me some nice resistance and texture to be able to lift my hair from the scalp. Then what I have done, how I've started this one off, is I've combed most of the front of my hair forward, and I've just kept my hand down. Then what I've done with the comb is the back of my hair, which is really, really short, I've combed that down backwards. I've held that down. Then what I've done is, with one of my favourite products as well by Schwarzkopf, got to be phenomenal finishing spray for groom styles. I have sprayed that down, and then once I've sprayed that, I've then combed it down backwards. Don't forget, it's nice and blended, so it looks really, really cool and really, really nice and trendy and smart at the back now. And then what I've done whilst that's drying is then just combed off to the side on my right, and then on my left I've combed that down, so I've got that nice arrowed and blend at the back there. So then, with my hair being at the front here, I've then taken a smaller amount of hair and then kept the majority of the front of my hair here. And then what I've done is I've lifted that up with the comb. And then what I've done, whilst that hair's sort of up, I then gave it a quick spray. And then with that, don't forget, because I've got the Johnny's Chop Shop dry shampoo with the resistance here, so I don't need to do anything with the hair. It's already lifted. So now I've just guided it off after I've sprayed it, and then I've moved that sort of section of my hair over, and then that's sprayed. Then what I've done is I've come on the side, and then again on my right side I combed that over, on my left side I combed that over. So I've got less hair here in the front because I'm slowly working my way forward. Then I've moved in again, I've lifted that hair up with the comb, and then I've come in with the spray, so then I've sprayed that again. So this is about the third time that I've done that. So it blends, because you don't want it to look like steps at the back here. So then I've used my comb, and then I've sort of smoothed it all in together so it looks nice and blended. And then the side, I've sprayed that up nice and tight here with my comb, again with the finishing spray. I've done that on my right, and then I've done that with my left. I've come in again, and I've used a full sort of section of hair underneath here. I've lifted that up, I've sprayed again with the finishing spray, and then I've guided that back over the comb. Now I'm really getting that sort of stepped volume. So as you can see here, I've sort of got that nice... As you can see, I've got that nice sort of height here, and then it's gradually coming down towards the back of my head. Then I've used the sort of fifth section. It took me about 5 sort of sections here in the front, and then here what I've done is I've really lifted that almost straight in the air. I've sprayed that with the finishing spray. I've let that dry slightly, and then what I have done is I have lifted that up with the comb, and then as that's drying I've eased it over and then left that over on the top here. And then I've smoothed that sort of style on here on the right, just so it gives that nice smooth edge on the right here. I've done that also with the left. And then what I have done is I've sprayed that all over my hair. So all over my hair, just to give that a nice sort of hold. I've let that finish ever so slightly, and then with the comb I've gone in sort of last thing here, and then I've just evened it all together, made sure that there's no sort of separated pieces, and then just smoothed it all the way around, which I then end up with this really nice smooth pompadour look, which I really, really like. Always, which I absolutely love with these products, finish it off, go crazy with that spray. I do, absolutely love it. And then you know that it's not going to move around at all for the rest of the day, and you can go around with this really, really nice pompadour style. It's one of my favourites. Do I wear it for work? Sometimes. I always think, though, that for me and my character, being I'm quite a professional job, and I'm quite a traditional character, that I like those gelled sort of styles for work. Those sort of comb styles, really lovely sort of sleek looks. This, when I'm not at work, I really like that sort of nice sort of statement piece in my hair, particularly if I'm sort of wearing jackets, sort of shirts. Really those sort of nice sort of formal pieces, which I really enjoy wearing. Smart shoes, sort of strong aftershave, love all of that. So yeah, really, really like this, a really sharp sort of style. My only sort of tip I would give, if you've got a style like this, really make sure that you dress just as smart and sharp as this style. Really, really like this. And I very often do wear this. Again, I used to have like a defined line here, I've now got it blended. So I think that really looks really cool, really nice and sharp and trendy, and I really, really like it. As you can see, it gives me quite a lot of confidence actually when I've got hair like this. I really, really like it. Very often what I was finding when I had it longer, just going back onto that, I was lifting up the comb and I was going over, and I had the hair sort of coming almost over to the other side, and then I'd have it this side, and I was sort of for ages going back, and then more spray and more spray. When it's cut shorter, and I realised this only this morning, it's so easy when you're growing your hair longer to sort of be anti-cutting, so you never have it cut. Whereas me, I had the style cut, and I went in, I asked for a pompadour style cut, but however I had it a bit too short, and then I was sort of humming and hawing. I couldn't cover my hearing aids, which is such a big thing for me, but however when I've got a style which I really enjoy wearing, and now it's grown out ever so slightly, and I can do it as sleek and as smart as like what I've done today, it doesn't make me feel bad about not being able to cover my hearing aids, because for me, if I feel confident up here on my hair and I feel confident on my face, and you've got good skin, you've got good complexion, nice smart sort of real tight shave and those smart clothes, for me that makes me feel more confident about my hearing. Not always, but it does make me feel confident about my hearing. So hopefully you've enjoyed my clip today. Hopefully you've enjoyed sort of looking through the products with me. As I say, I'm always sort of on the lookout for different new products and things, and you can probably pick out my favourites. So the Schwarzkopf Got2b range, the VO5 range, the Alpazin, that's products which I keep coming back to, but I do very much enjoy sort of trying out different products as well. So anything you've seen here today, give them a try. If you like this style, give it a try. I'd say if you do go and have this style cut, the sort of the length I've got on the top here, I would say I've got that down to about now sort of the mid-bridge of my nose here. So what's that? I'd say about maybe 5 inches, maybe 4. I'd say 4.5 inches on top, and then sort of gradually going back, I've got 4.5 inches on the top here, then in the back here that's about an inch, maybe an inch and a half, and that's slightly blended as you will all the way go through. And how my stylist cuts my hair is through with the scissors. So through the front here about 4.5 inches, then a little bit behind that we go to about 4, then again to about 3.5, then 3, then 2. So literally gradually sort of stepping that back. Then at the back here we're down to as low as about a 1, and I've got that blended, then down to a 2, and then down to sort of a 1.5 grade clipper comb, and then to a 1, and then a 0.5, and then a 0 underneath at the bottom. And then again of course at the sides here, so a 0, then we've gone to like a 0.5 I believe, a 1, then a 1.5, then a 2. So it's really nicely blended. Really enjoy this style. Give it a try if you really do like it. And the products, if you see them out and about, I mostly buy my products in Boots, and I really like it there. They change them all the time, and they're really quite good for price range as well. Of course, some of these products you can buy in supermarkets and stores are like that, such as Superdrug, and of course online. So thank you very much for watching. I really enjoyed this clip today, and until next time, we will see you then. Thanks very much. Bye bye now.